Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I am Comic Book Bob, and we are here every week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am joined, as always, by my good friend, Hollywood Frank.
HW, baby.
And wow, man, this week was crazy.
Exciting.
Crazy.
Exciting.
We had day one of Fyter Fest, which just made us want to watch day two even more after all the things that happened.
Hello, Jobin Fantasia.
Yep. We had the first WWE show with live crowd with SmackDown, which was the go home show for Money in the Bank, which happened on Sunday. And then on Saturday we had Impact Slammiversary that, man, changed the game. So we got a lot to talk about. Yep. And then Monday, well, yeah, we got to talk about Monday too, but unfortunately. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look here real quick. We got, like you said, we got Job. He said, "Hey guys, what's up, dude?" Fantasia said, "John Cena is back." How could you tell? All I saw was an empty ring. It was an empty ring for 15 minutes. But no, yeah, a lot of big stuff to get into, man. Hicksville, sup, dude? But we appreciate you guys being here. As we said, we are getting this thing kicked off back together again. But man, dude, a lot of wrestling this week and a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Lots of good wrestling though, too.
A lot of good.
Lots of surprises too.
Yes.
A week of surprises.
Yeah. A week of good surprises.
Yes.
And something that I was talking to this one guy is even the stuff that we ourselves may not have thought was great. There's people out there that are fans, man. And this week was really one of those weeks where there was something for everybody. You know what I mean? WWE put on a good. I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some moments that were like, "What the hell?" But Money in the Bank was good, man. Money in the Bank was a good show. Slammiversary was a good show. Fyter Fest was a good show. A lot of interesting stuff. But in fact, it's Scott back and being even more promoted by the CCP, which Cena's never going to live that down, man. He's never going to live that down. But, yeah, man, interesting week. As always, though, we are going to start with our good, our bad, and our ugly. Frank, you're going to lead us off this time, brother.
No what's up this week? All right.
Oh, we'll get to the what's up. We'll get to the what's up. We'll get
so GBU today. This man will talk more about Impact Slammiversary because I didn't see that. So I can't really say – that was my good, just from what I hear. It was really good.
Oh, man.
But my good, probably biggest good is that the live crowds are back.
Oh, my God.
Which hopefully will make WWE better. Now, unfortunately, I was hoping, but Raw was not that good. Not that good yesterday. But hopefully the crowd's coming back helps elevate both promotions and starts.
It made it a lot more tolerable.
Starts getting them out,
yeah.
But hopefully with the live crowds coming back, you can see increase in WWE's push with some of the guys.
Well, we've always said that some of the acts you have to have a crowd reaction for the gimmick that they're putting over. You know, so without that, it kind of dies. Look at the whole thing that happened with Elias, man. Like Elias's gimmick depends so much on freaking on crowd reaction. Without it, it was just dead. Nobody cared.
You
know,
your Takis are inspiring somebody there.
Eating jalapenos. All right, dude, build up that spice tolerance.
Yeah, but that's a good. The bad is I was not a fan of the Lashley Kofi Kingston match at Money in the Bank. I mean, this was pretty much similar to Lesnar versus Kofi when he had the title. It was a squash match for Kofi, and he should be treated better than that. And then my ugly, and even with the live crowds, my ugly was Monday Night Raw. It started off okay with Cena coming back, Mr. Five Knuckle Shuffle, then it went.
Yeah,
like we'll talk about him.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit
about that's my GBU, Mr.
Cool.
Bob, you're up.
All right, the good, The forbidden door continues to swing open. Anybody who watched Impact this week, or anybody who was just on wrestling social media this week, knows exactly what happened at Impact Slammiversary this week. A lot of really cool stuff. 5 different companies represented on one pay-per-view. 5 different wrestling companies. Impact, AEW, New Japan, NWA, and AAA. When did you I'm actually racking my brain. I'm sure it's happened before. I think the last time that this happened was the first All In. Was the first All In show, I think, was when you had that many different companies, that many different styles of wrestling represented. But yeah, this last weekend, man, 5 different wrestling companies represented. It was crazy, dude. It was nuts. And the coolest thing of all, the Switchblade, Jay White showing up at the end. And man, if you guys have not watched that clip is on YouTube. It's all over the internet. And if you haven't watched it, you need to go back and watch that clip. The first thing he does when he walks out is he looks, because Kenny left all of his belts except for the Impact belt. He left them all up on top of the ramp. First thing he does is he walks up to that AEW belt and he takes a look down at it. And I'm like, don't tease me, man. Don't. You're killing me, bro. You're killing me. But that was my good. Just the representation. And like the title says, man, are we entering a wrestling renaissance? You've got all these programs that are working in synergy with each other. So it's amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. The bad was, and really, it really wasn't all that bad. It's just bad because we were hoping that it would be like, once we had live crowd reactions, once they were like, live crowds are back, we can't pull the same thing that we pulled in the Thunderdome, where we make people clap and cheer for what we want them to clap and cheer for. WWE still pulled out some of that stuff that we're like, okay, you're obviously not listening. But the bad for me was the women's Money in the Bank match. Alexa Bliss pulling the voodoo stuff on Zelina Vega. I'm just like, come on, man. Just stop. Just stop. The Hicks villain said Slammiversary had a bit of a botch cutting off the pay-per-view as Juice and Finley came out to the ring. I think you're talking about when Jay White came out to the ring, it went to black. I know that was intended. But and then Juice and Finley came out and went for the beatdown. And so they left things really ambiguous. We all know what's going to happen though. But from what I understand, that was actually intended. Hicks villain, they actually intended to go off at that moment. I think that what they were trying to do is they were trying to create a tease so that people would tune into the next episode of Impact. But from what they now, was it really planned, or was it an accident and they're just trying to roll with it? Who knows? But supposedly that was planned. Joe said, "Oh God, these are worse. They aren't jalapenos; they're pepperoncinis." Oh man, but my bad was unfortunately the women's Money in the Bank. I don't agree with the winner. I don't agree with who won it. I mean, you've got Naomi, who's got a real life story going on that they could get a lot of real sympathy and then give her some serious upward momentum. You've got Liv Morgan, who they had this huge storyline about her fighting to get into Money in the Bank, and they've gone nowhere with it. No disrespect to Nikki, but yeah, I personally felt like the wrong person won that match, and the shenanigans that went on, I'm just like, ugh. And then more of that happened on Raw, so we'll get into that. But the ugly, unfortunately, the story with Michael Elgin continues to get worse and more and more just dark and unfortunate. For those who don't know, Michael Elgin was arrested for violating a protective order. His ex-fiancée alleged sexual, mental, emotional, and verbal abuse. Apparently, this is an order that he has violated multiple times. Ugly stuff that happens that just, you hate to see it, but unfortunately, it is the truth. But very depressing and unfortunate. But that's my good, my bad, my ugly. As always, though, guys, Hicks Villain, Fantasia, Job, everybody else that joins us, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate the hell out of you. And we just wanted to say,
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Hello.
What's up?
what's up?
Yeah, Naomi moving over to SmackDown there. Hicks, she's going to be Jimmy's babysitter.
Well, we know that we knew that once she came back, she wasn't going to be on Raw for very long. WWE has a policy; they don't like breaking real life couples up. So we know that they were going to move her over. Hopefully, her being there does have a positive effect on Jimmy. We know because they could travel together or anything like that. We know that. Yeah. Unfortunately, we know that unfortunately some people were like really taking a dragging her on social media, saying she was the source of the problem, which I think is just stupid. But hopefully, them being together, they can she can support him and help him out. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna make pepper cheese poppers in the air fryer while watching. Hey, man, go for it, dude. What's the worst thing that happened? Just make sure you got some Pepto Bismol on hand. Someone had to try. Jesus Christ. It's just. I can't be too I want to support the guy. I want him to get help. I want him to be everything we know that he's capable of being. But at this point, like we talked about before, man, it's just a matter of just bad choices. And but then again, we do know that his family cares about him. We know that he cares about his family. Hopefully that'll help him pull his head out of his ass, and they can be there to give him the support he needs when to break away. Although it's interesting, he does this and he becomes the tag team champions. Meanwhile, Karrion Kross gets called up and loses his first match on the main roster.
NXT champion loses.
But anyway, let's get into it, guys. Let's talk about some of the cool stuff that happened. Well, let's start with Fyter Fest Night 1. Before we do, though, guys, let us know what your good, the bad, and the ugly was for this week. And let's keep this discussion going. So, but all right, Frank, what do you think, man?
I like Fyter Fest day one. What was nice is, and we didn't talk about it because it was Wednesday, but AEW drew consistently over 1 million.
Yep.
Last Wednesday for Fyter Fest.
Yep. Consistently. I think they said great. The opening segment was the only thing that didn't have quite a million. It was like 990,000 at the beginning. By the end of it, I think they said it had finally broken 1 million. But interestingly enough, the segment that had the highest, I think it was like 1.1, 1.2 million. It was like 1.3, 1.2 million, something like that. But the highest rated segment was Britt Baker. The promo that she cut, which was pretty scathing. But that opening match, man, again, like I said, I'm a New Japan guy. I'm a New Japan mark. I'm always going to be somebody that marks out whenever I see New Japan on a different program, because it tells me that there's talks going on and that there's movement. But Moxley versus Carl Anderson. This actually started a little bit slow. I think it started a little bit. It wasn't quite what I was expecting, because normally, and I think part of it has to do with Moxley's layoff. I mean, he's been out for a month.
Yeah.
So normally he's
with the new baby. I mean, sure, taking some time off for that. But
it wasn't his normal, just balls to the wall, just knocking everybody down, and that crazy energy that he can bring to a match. But it's still, but by the end of it, I thought it ended up being a really solid match. Moxley retains, immediately challenged, and this is the exciting one.
Yeah,
this is the thing that's got me going. Yes. Yeah, the Murder Hawk, Lance Archer, challenged him to a repeat of their Texas Death Match from last year. Was it last year? I think it was last year. Yeah, last year in January at Wrestle Kingdom. So
maybe 2 years ago, because last
year, it was.
Were they over there before COVID?
Yeah. Because Moxley was supposed to go into a program with Zack Sabre Jr., and that got the kibosh put onto it, which was in March, I believe. So, but it started off it started off good, and that like I said, that match ended with a bang. We're getting tomorrow. We are getting part 2, Archer versus Moxley, Texas Death Match, and if it's anywhere near as good as the first one that they had.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm more excited about tomorrow, day 2, than I was about day 1 last week.
Yeah, day one was good. Day 2, I think it's going to be awesome. Mox Hicksman said Mox getting that dad bod starting, complete with even the hair loss. His hair was always. I'm actually glad he shaved his head, because it was clear that he was losing his hair. But as far as the dad bod, Moxley's never been like a super cut dude.
No,
you know what I mean. He's always had like more of a traditional wrestler's bod, and but he's also like he's real big into MMA and stuff like that. So he's kind of got that punk build. You know what I mean? But he's built for death matches, man. Next match was really interesting.
Yeah.
It was the next match was actually one of my favorites, which was Brian Cage versus Ricky Starks.
FTW Championship.
Yep. FTW champion, and we all saw it coming though. We all saw it. We knew that Cage was going to be out of Team Taz. The interesting thing was the fan reaction to Ricky Starks. They were cheering the hell out of this dude. I mean, it was clear Ricky Starks was the heel in this match.
Yep.
But I think him coming back from that neck injury, that built a lot of sympathy for him, and I'll be honest too, man. He stepped up his game, man. He's actually improved in the ring, because I thought he was a little, when he first showed up in AEW, I thought he was a little janky in the ring. He was he obviously had a lot of athletic talent, but just didn't seem to gel very well. This match was actually pretty good. His work was better. Brian Cage, he's just a friggin' brick. It's like it's almost unfair to put anybody in the ring with him, man. It's like give him a shotgun or something. But no, that was a pretty good match. The interview with Siobhan, with the interview, the Hangman interview, and that's led to the 5-on-1 versus the Dark Order versus the Elite. Pretty sure we know what's going to happen here. I mean, either FTR, one of the Good Brothers is probably going to get pinned. And
well, I thought it was an elimination match.
Oh, that's right. You're right. So, what do you think it's going to come down to? Is it going to come down to Hangman and is it going to come down to Hangman and Kenny, and Kenny gets the loss?
I don't know, because I thought I read somewhere that one of the Carl Anderson or Luke Gallows, one of them had a singles match tomorrow as well.
I don't know. Hang on a minute. Let me take a look here and see what the announcement is.
Because I don't know if they actually decided on who the 5-on-5 was going to be, at least on the Dark Order side.
Well, the Dark Order's got a lot more members, so
so
obviously
I don't know who the 5-on-5 will be. I think it'll probably be
Uno, Grayson, Colt, and either John Silver or 10.
Probably 10.
Yeah. Omega in 5, Last Man 5 wins. I wouldn't be surprised, man. AEW is all about putting young guys over, dude. I almost think it has to be. I almost think it has to be Hangman versus Kenny, and then here's the thing though, because normally the way it works is before the big show, which the next big show is in September, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. The way you build up a babyface going over a heel is that the match before the big pay-per-view, the heel beats the babyface. The babyface loses. That way, when they win at the pay-per-view, it's the big pop. You know what I mean? Normally, when the face wins before the big pay-per-view, they lose at the pay-per-view. That's the way it normally works. At least that's the way it's always appeared to me. So I don't know how this match goes. But you see here, Fyter Fest, night 2. Well, where the hell is it? Fyter Fest Live 2. Let's. Nope, that's wrong. Kazarian versus Gallows.
Yeah.
Okay. So Fyter Fest night 2 matches. We've got Archer versus Moxley. I think Archer takes it. Jericho versus Shawn Spears. Obviously, Chris Jericho's going to win. The Blade versus Orange Cassidy. I got Orange Cassidy winning that one. Nyla Rose versus Britt Baker. They're not taking that belt off Baker. They're not. She's the most over thing in their company, man. They're not taking that belt off Baker anytime soon. And then Kazarian versus Doc Gallows. I think Kazarian takes that match. So it'll be interesting. You got yeah, that whole exchange between them was awesome, dude. It took that storyline that's been kind of on the shelf for for pretty much most of last year and most of this year. Immediately, that's once again, in my opinion, one of the 2 best storylines in professional wrestling right now. Right there with the whole Samoan Dynasty thing. So that was pretty cool. Hardy versus Christian Cage. This is better than I thought it was going to be, dude. Yeah, go ahead.
I think Christian gets around a little bit better than Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy's just
well, half of Matt's spine is fused. He
just beat up.
The fact that Matt can do what he does is amazing. Yeah. No, that was pretty cool. I really like. I mean, the Yuka Sakazaki versus Penelope Ford. I mean, it was okay.
You missed another segment before.
Yeah, I know. I'm not the Britt Baker DMD thing.
No, the Malachi Black versus with Cody Rhodes. That was before.
Was that before?
That was early. That was after the Moxley match.
Oh, right. It was after. It was after
the Cage match.
It was after the Cage and Ricky Starks match. Yeah, he got sent there. That was really cool. It's almost like Malachi Black was taking that thing that he was doing in WWE where he's telling the stories. It's like he took it was like an evolution of that character. So and people think that he's doing this and he was doing that stuff to take shots at WWE. I don't think that's true. Hey, the Dabbler Dads. What's up, guys? Appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us, man.
You had the yin and yang with the black versus white.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, with because Cody was all completely in white, Black was all completely in black. The cool story that he was telling. I'm excited for this feud, man. I think this is going to be. We're going to see if Black is as creative as we think he is, and because we got a little bit taste of that from NXT. Yeah, that was another cool thing. Yeah. They teased the Jurassic Express breakup when Luchasaurus put Christian on his shoulders. The look that Jungle Boy gave him, man. Like we said, dude, we always said that for him to go to the next level, he's got to evolve. He's got to stop being Jungle Boy. He's got to become Jack Perry. But appreciate you stopping in, guys. And what do you guys think of AEW's the first night of Fyter Fest? But we had the cool stare down between Malachi Black and Cody. Tony Schiavone had the big breakdown between interview with Heyman Adam Page and the Elite. Alex Marvez did a a backstage segment with Jericho where he got ambushed, and then MGF told him like the first of the trials of Jericho was that he had to beat Shawn Spears, and Shawn Spears can use a steel chair. We all know who's going to win that. Hardy versus Christian Cage was a much better match than I thought it was going to be, and then like you said, we got the little tease of some possible issues there. Hey, Art T Bear.
Yeah.
For guys that don't know, I'll have to find the video, man. It was freaking awesome. Here it is. 6 a.m. Comics has been doing these little videos where he's taking all these comic book and CG guys and giving them wrestling entrances in WWE 2K. Was it 2K21? But the Art got his own here. Let me pop this thing up here. It was friggin' hilarious. But here it is. Let me share this out. I think it's funny. Let's see here. There it is. Here we go. Let's zoom in a little bit. But damn it. There it goes. There he goes. Art T Bear. I don't want to play the music because we'll get in trouble. And but good RT Bear getting his entrance. He still got it.
He does.
Still got it. Keeping his ink hand strong. But appreciate you stopping in, man. Dad said Moro's perfect TNT fighting champion to me. It's believable, dude. What that guy has made a friggin' turn, man. They have really taken it. And what was really cool is, I don't know, everybody noticed that they changed the TNT belt again.
Yep.
They changed it to the Bulgarian flag. People didn't realize that they like the color scheme is the Bulgarian flag, and the side plates on the belt are like these sculptures from Bulgarian history. So it's pretty cool. Me too. Best match I already had wrestled in a while. Yeah, they know each other so well, man. Joe said it's cooking. Oh God, I saw him. Joe's going to kill himself with his peppers. But Art Bear says, I'm a monster.
You are.
Yes, you are, sir. I can't wait for we're talking about the possibility of getting some of the old streams back together. But Art's an awesome guy. You guys go check him out over on his channel, RT Bear. One of the best inkers that ever friggin' laid ink down on a comic book page. Awesome guy. And some of the best stories you're ever going to hear. But
AEW.
Yeah, AEW. We'll finish it up. Sammy Guevara versus Willie Yuta was pretty good. Willie Yuta is a young guy that I really like coming up. So it was cool to see him again. Some New Japan stuff going on. Wheeler's one of those guys. He's kind of a journeyman. He goes back and forth between New Japan. He goes between New Japan and Ring of Honor and Impact. So another one of those guys. Yuka Sakazaki versus Penelope Ford. It was okay for what it was. It's the first match that Yuka's had since in almost a year and a half. She's super over with the AEW crowd. So that was cool. But the main event and like I said, probably the best match of the night, the coffin match between All Ego Ethan Page and Darby Allin. Dude, I thought Darby Allin killed himself when he did that coffin drop into the coffin. I'm going, dude, you got to stop doing this stuff. You're going to kill yourself. Like someone actually pointed out.
Yeah, he's too young to be doing.
Oh my God, dude. He's like, someone said that piece of the way that lid was built, when he hit it, that thing just turned into shards. Like he could have impaled himself on all over that thing. But yeah, it was crazy. Devlin Dad said, are they going to stay Dark Order? Is this about to change to a Western gang? I don't know, man. Devlin Dad said it seems so rushed and short to me a little. I mean, I don't know. It's, if you're talking about the Hangman Dark Order thing, that's just them ramping up that storyline that's been sitting on the shelf for like 6 or 7 months. Joe said, RTBI, Triple Dog dare you to try a pepperoni poppers. You won't think after that. But Dad Dad's talking about Darby. He's invincible. Dude, I'm going to tell you what, man. That guy's like, he said himself, man, he's like, I don't plan on having a long career. Well, he keeps doing stuff like that. He ain't gonna. But no, it was a great match. I really thought Ethan Page really stepped up big. Oh, the coffin match was short. Dude, as brutal as that match was, it had to be short. Because, Darby's, like I said, he's not going to be able to take that kind of pounding like that. And in reality, this match was just kind of a continuation of the feud that they had on the Indies. So, because they referenced that a lot through the entire show and everything. But some of the bumps that they took, man, matches like that, you can't do really long matches like that. You're just going to die.
Yeah, that's a match that can't be like a 20, 30-minute match.
Yeah.
It's not going to work right.
Yeah. But no, it was good. Like I said, it's typical Darby. It's the reason why he's so over. Again, this show really did a good job of putting over the young talent. They put over Max, they put over Sammy, they put over Jungle Boy. Even though Jungle Boy wasn't even in the match, he had a really important storyline angle. Ricky Starks, MJF, they're building stars. And like you said, it got us excited for Fyter Fest Night 2. Because we see, like I said, that card, we just talked about it. The two matches that have to be the big deal is Archer versus Moxley for the US title. And I guess Nyla versus Britt is the 5-man match, which is going to determine what's going to go happen with Hangman going forward. Devin Dad said, I agree, and I love it as Kenny playing heel, and any of the young stars could have a great push when they want to. And that's the thing too, man. These guys aren't just trying to put themselves over. They're trying to build a company. And to do that, you got to build young stars. You got to build around those young stars, which is something that we're friggin' WWE would friggin' start listening to.
Yeah, maybe they're not having a 5-on-5 match. I don't see it listed anywhere.
It's not listed. I don't think it's listed yet. It has to be on there though, because it has to be. I want to build your spice on a challenge to eat pepperoni poppers, dude. I can eat pepperoncinis all day.
Yeah,
but we don't want to dwell on this too much. All right. We got to talk about Impact.
Yes.
Oh my dear sweet
Slammiversary.
Dear sweet baby Jeebus. Kenny Omega versus Sami Callihan in a no DQ match. This is I admittedly, and I was hoping that we could get Mark Polton on here to talk about, because he's a big Impact guy. I'm not. Oh, Gallows is fighting Kaz. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It can't be unless Kenny thinks he's getting Jay White, which, if you watch that segment, the storyline idea is that they don't realize Jay White's pissed. But no, you're probably right. If Gallows is going to be in a match against Kaz, it probably won't be a 5-man, unless Don Callis is coming out of retirement, which I don't think is going to happen. But yeah, so that'll probably be, and considering how much time there is between now and the September show, that makes sense. The 5-man will probably happen like somewhere in the middle between now and then. But anyway, Impact Wrestling, some really good. This was, most of the matches on this were okay. They're not great, but okay. More likely Nakazawa. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. It would probably be Nakazawa before it would be Jay. But Knockouts Tag Team Championship, Fire and Flava losing the titles to Decay. That's not surprising considering that the scuttlebutt is that they're breaking up Fire and Flava because what's her name? Kira Hogan's contract is up, has been up for a while. Wasn't a bad match. It was okay. Match I really liked, Josh Alexander retaining his X Division championship in a 5-way against Trey Miguel, Ace Austin, Petey Williams, Rohan, Rohit Riju and Chris Bay. Actually, that's a 6.
Ultimate X.
Ultimate X. Yep. Josh Alexander winning. I mean, a match with that many guys, it's going to be what it's going to be. But Josh Alexander, they're all really good. But I love Josh Alexander, man. If you haven't had a chance to go watch the matches he's had over on New Japan Strong, I love the dude. I hope that this is them building up to him having a title run in Impact. So
and Petey with a couple Canadian destroyers in there. Dude,
that Canadian destroyer! Oh my god! I thought someone was dead. I thought like he did a Canadian destroyer off the friggin' the friggin' what do you call that thing? Shit. It was really high. Put it that way. I don't know what that thing's called. That thing that comes across the friggin' ring. But this was it was a decent match. Mixed tag match. This was the first of the surprises. Brian Myers and Tennille Dashwood taking on Matt Cardona and his surprise partner, the returning Chelsea Green, which that was the big surprise on Impact that everybody knew was coming. Yeah. It was pretty much a typical mixed tag match. Wasn't terrible, wasn't great. V Morrissey versus Eddie Edwards. It was all right. I was expecting a little bit more from this, but it was okay. Finn Juice returning, which was really cool. Finn Juice, Juice Robinson, and
need to drink milk, Joe. Need to drink milk.
Yeah. Juice Robinson and David Finlay coming back. It was pretty much a squash match, beating Fulton and beating Madman Fulton and Shera. Again, not a terrible match, not great. Match that I thought up until the main event, I thought was the best match of the night was Moose versus Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin is I love Chris Sabin. Oh, that's Joe. Oh shit, water. Oh my god, my eyes are burning.
Milk. Drink milk.
Bro. Hey, actually, if you get capsaicin in your eyes, the best thing to do, if you have somebody in your family that has long hair, rub their hair in your eyes. Something about the oil in the hair, like when my dad would make that killer freaking salsa that he makes, and they would have to wear gloves to make it because they make it with like habaneros and Scotch bonnets and stuff like that. If they did get that stuff in their eyes, the first thing they did, they'd grab my dad would grab my mom's hair and start rubbing that in his eyes. But I don't know what it is, but it works. Sabin versus Moose was really good. He like Moose, this, a lot of people were upset because they feel like this kind of like hamstrings Moose. I don't think so. I think the way that Sabin won, where basically Moose was just beating the crap out of him for most of the match, and then he pulls out that gutsy win at the end. Surprise, those surprise roll-up wins. If you do them like this, where it's only once in a blue moon, and they work that way. If you do it like WWE does, where it's every other match, it sucks. But Sabin beats Moose. Then there was the Fatal 4-Way for the Tag Team Championship. It was okay. I mean, these 4-way tag matches like this, they always end up getting really messy. But it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. But Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, once again, Impact Tag Team Champions. The match that was really shocking to me, the next big surprise.
Hey, no, you had No Way Jose.
I don't care. I don't care, dude. I really don't. I'm glad the guys don't get me wrong. I'm glad the guy's getting work. Hopefully he gets, treated better. But hey, it is what it is, man. The second big surprise, Thunder Rosa challenging Deonna Purrazzo for the Knockouts championship. And this was a really good match, man. We've been saying for a while, wondering how long it was going to take for Impact to start, getting some reciprocity for letting Kenny go over there and then take their belt and be their champion and beat their top guys. We knew eventually it was coming, and I said that it should come from the women's division because Impact's women's division needs some challengers for Deonna Purrazzo. sure enough, we get Thunder Rosa, who technically isn't AEW. She's still technically NWA. And then second surprise of the night, Mickie James comes out and invites Deonna Purrazzo to the all women's show Empower, NWA's Empower, and so there's a little scuffle between her and Mickie James. Mickie James lays her out. So we will definitely probably be seeing Thunder Rosa and Purrazzo both over in that show. So that's interesting.
Hardcore country with the boot to the face.
Yep. And then the final, the main event, no DQ match for the Impact World Championship, Sami Callihan versus Kenny Omega. This was a freaking dope match, dude. This was probably the best match I've seen on Impact in a long time. It was a hardcore match. Kenny Omega got color really quick. Sami Callihan laying him open with the freaking pizza cutter. I mean, it was what you expect from a hardcore no DQ match. Obviously, Good Brothers got involved. Don Callis got involved. At the end of the day, Kenny Omega still your Impact World Heavyweight Champion. But after the match, Good Brothers, Kenny Omega going for the too sweet. And before they can do, Jay White, the current IWGP Never Openweight Champion and leader of the Bullet Club, the guy who actually beat Kenny Omega for the IWGP World Heavyweight title before Kenny left for AEW, comes out on the stage. Unfortunately, like I think Hicks Millen was saying, they cut the feed before everybody could see everything. But Jay comes out, he takes a look at the AEW belt, which is at the top of the ramp, which made my heart sing like nothing else. Gets in the ring, they're all confused. Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson throw up the too sweet to Jay. They're like, "Hey, come on, man, let's go, let's do this. Come on, let's go." And before anything could happen, Finjuice hit the ring. They clear the area, and then I believe Jay hits the Razor's Edge on Juice Robinson before he jumped out. So they left it ambiguous, but oh my God, man, I lost my shit. the wrestling social media completely melted down. This was awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And God damn it. I need Bullet Club versus Kenny Club. I need it like I need air. But yeah, awesome, amazing way to end the show. This is probably the best Slammiversary I've seen in a long time. Now, admittedly, I am not as up on Impact as I am on other things. But this was dope, man. Oh my God. It was awesome.
Job.
Job says, "Okay, I have long hair and it works." I told you, man. But yeah, did any of you guys watching in the chat right now? Did any of you guys watch Slammiversary? What do you think? Do you guys like the idea of all these companies working together like this? I think it's amazing. I think, like I said, you've got this much lateral movement between all these different companies like this. To me, like I said, like I put in the title, this to me feels like a wrestling renaissance, like a wrestling renaissance. It's almost like them going back to a territorials day, to the days of the territories, but with more cooperation. Obviously, right now AEW is the hot hand. They're the new company. They're the kid with all the flash. But you've got heavy representation by New Japan. You've got NWA, staking their claim. AEW, Impact, and a lot of people were saying like, I don't know how Impact benefits from all this. I was like, are you serious? After Slammiversary, I don't think there could be any argument about what Impact gets out of this. They get eyes on the product.
And what I'll say, what I think will make it even better with this cross promotion, is that, and I think Impact will be able to do this, is that they'll have a lot of talent. They'll have a lot of talent. They'll have a lot of talent. And what I'll say, what I think will make it even better with this cross promotion, is that they'll have a lot of talent. 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 They'll have is if you can get a Daniel Bryan or somebody like that
Oh my God,
signed.
dude. I'm gonna
with
tell you
AEW
something.
or Impact or something like that. If Daniel Bryan goes to AEW,
I'm gonna tell you something. I think Hicks Villain hit on something right here. And speaking of Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson or whatever you want to call him, going back to NWA, Nick Aldis celebrated 1,000 days of having no one interesting to beat him for his title this week. I would not be surprised, especially considering that so many of them are friends. Here's the scenario I think is going to happen. Daniel Bryan is going to sign with either AEW or New Japan, but he's going to do it. He's going to have an open clause. I would not be surprised if Daniel Bryan showed up at the next big NWA show to challenge Nick Aldis. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Bryan showed up at the next big New Japan show, which, by the way, is this weekend. He might not show up for that. Well, actually, I think he's able to, isn't he? I think his no compete is up.
Yeah, he's done. He didn't have a
no compete because his contract ran out.
Yeah. He
So
can do whatever he wants.
He can do whatever he wants. I wouldn't be surprised to see him show up at one of these big shows. He's already stated that the reason why he's sitting out is because he wants to wrestle these matches that he's always wanted to wrestle. He wants to wrestle his dream matches. I have to imagine that him wrestling Nick Aldis would be one of those matches. So, and that would benefit. Oh my God, dude! Daniel Bryan showing up on NWA television or at an NWA pay-per-view. That would be insane.
And I don't see it ever happening, but somebody else who could get a dream match and do whatever he wants, and I don't see him coming out of retirement, is CM Punk.
Dude, Punk's not coming back. I'm telling
I don't see him coming back either, but I'm just saying if he ever wanted an opportunity to,
oh yeah,
now would be the time when the live crowds are coming back and all this is going on.
Yeah, interest is starting to peak. But no, the thing that really amazes me, like I said, is just the level of cooperation that's going on right now. And like Joe said, Slammiversary marks a moment in history when, and it was cool. Yeah, that's the thing. It was really cool to see. It was really cool to see all this stuff happening. But yeah, dude, I'm excited. Yeah, I saw that. WWE already warned 2K not to include Daniel Bryan in the new game. Yeah. They said that the scuttlebutt is that if he does resign, they're going to add him in later. But
and the funny thing about WWE is they have merchandise. They're out there for Braun Strowman, but he's not with the company.
Well, they did that with Aleister Black. Aleister Black, like right before they fired him, they debuted a new T-shirt for him.
Oh, they have merchandise now.
I know. It's basically it's the reverse of what happened with Aleister Black. They put new merchandise out for him, and then they fired him. With Braun, they fired him, and then they put new merchandise out for him, which has got people speculating that they're going to bring him back. I think, and it's very possible that he is going to come back because you got to remember when he signed his last contract, he signed one of these big draconic contracts where he got a ridiculous amount of money to re-sign with WWE because they were trying to keep people from going to AEW. They're trying to keep people from going to AEW and to a lesser extent New Japan. Now that the pandemic, they're coming out of the pandemic, and they lost the Wednesday Night Wars between NXT and AEW. A lot of the people they released were releasing them for the intention of getting rid of those big contracts that they signed, so that they can then re-sign them later for lower amounts of money. Joe, guys, don't do what I'm doing. It's not worth it. It gets better and worse at the same time. Bro, you're not the Spice King, man. Don't kill yourself. But Hicksman said, I think they'll rehire Braun. I think they're already in the process of rehiring Braun. I think they're going to wait out his 90-day compete clause, and then they'll re-sign him to a new contract for less money. But yeah, Impact Slammiversary was awesome. Let's move on to Money in the Bank, which was the other big show. the big week for wrestling. And this was the first pay-per-view back with live crowds, as we were saying.
Yep.
And the crowd was in it, man. The crowd made this pay-per-view so much more palatable. Like I said, and it wasn't a bad pay-per-view by any stretch of the imagination. There was some really good wrestling on this pay-per-view. But there was also the typical WWE stupid shit. But the fact that the crowd was there made it tolerable. And more interesting than that, we saw how the crowd reacted to some of the stuff that we've talked about. And it wasn't good. It's the crowd went absolutely dead when Alexa did her friggin' voodoo crap.
Oh, did we lose you, Bob? I think we did. Anyways, I guess it's a solo show right now. Money in the Bank started off with the kickoff show, the Usos versus the Mysterios, and knew it was going to happen. The Usos are the new tag team champions. We just knew that was going to be a matter of time before that happened. With Roman Reigns at the table with his title, just makes sense to have the championship match or the tag team champions be with him as well. So it's all one big happy Samoan family with the Bob got taken out because of Alexa Bliss. Picking on Alexa Bliss is not good. But anyways, new tag team champions for SmackDown, the Usos, along with Roman Reigns. Head of family has 3 of the titles there. Not too bad. We were expecting it. I didn't see them keeping the belt on the Mysterios for too long. I like the next match. Bob didn't like it because the voodoo stuff. I understand. I mean, with Alexa Bliss, and he was a real fan of pushing Liv Morgan because she pushed herself to get into the match and with Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce and did what she could to get herself added to the match. And I personally felt it was going to come down to Asuka, Alexa, Nikki, or Liv Morgan, because I still don't think the other 4 had any reason to be in the match, that they weren't going to win it at all. And your new Money in the Bank champion, Nikki, almost a superhero, Nikki Ash. Not that great of a match overall, but I know McMahon is big on Nikki and wants to push her merchandise because help bring in the younger audience, and things like going to the hospital and things like that would be able to help inspire people. What is this, Joe? Bobby Peppercini died from an overload. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Raw Tag Team Championship match: Viking Raiders versus AJ Styles and Omos. I just don't take the Viking Raiders as a legitimate tag team. I'm sorry. That's just me personally. Omos is getting better in the ring. The more time he spends there with AJ. Because AJ can help get anybody over. AJ, to me, is one of the elite guys in pro wrestling right now. He is the phenomenal one, and he does a great job getting guys over and helping elevate the talent around him. But again, I'm not a big fan of the Viking Raiders personally. Maybe you are. There's people out there that like the Viking Raiders, I'm sure. And moving on, this is probably the worst match of the night. I said it during the Good, Bad, and Ugly. Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley reminded me of the Kofi Kingston versus Brock Lesnar match, where Lesnar just destroyed Kofi Kingston and captured the title. Kofi deserves better than that. Just to be pretty much a squash match versus Bobby Lashley, and it was not good. Yeah, I'm Hicksville, and I'm glad Nikki's getting a push as well. Bliss Bliss did take out Bob Hardcore. Yeah, Lesnar Cena. Yeah, I don't remember that match off the top of my head, but yeah, just squashing Kingston was, to me, absolutely uncalled for. Oh yeah. Tossing AJ over top ropes. AJ knows how to sell. He does a good job with that. But yeah, enough of Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley. Again, the worst match of the night for me. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte for the Women's Championship for Raw. I think Ripley had a belt for 98 days, and he knew it was going to happen when Charlotte came back. She's the golden child for McMahon, and she is the nature girl, and putting the title on her. Said this figure, she went with the figure eight, her 14th title reign. I don't think she's counting her NXT titles because she came out on Raw, said she had 1 Divas Championship, 5 SmackDown, and 5 Raw. So I guess she's just counting the main event or the main roster titles. So I guess 11 if she wants to go by that. I know people say that Ric Flair's titles, the amount he had was never totally counted. He had more than 16. I think so, Johnny Cage. I think the superhero girl is just keeping the belt warm for Becky. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about G-Berg here in a minute. Let's see. But yeah, Flair defeated Ripley, and Flair looked good. She looked really in shape and really ripped. She'd been working out. So maybe with her man being over there in AEW and not being together as often anymore, maybe she's hitting the gym more often. Her poppy is in AEW. So, she's got to do something to keep herself going. And then men's Money in the Bank. I'm happy Big E won. I think he deserves an opportunity to run with the title. And I didn't see Morrison, Riddle, Ricochet, Nakamura, Owens winning the match. I just think it came down to Rollins, McIntyre, or Big E, and they're setting up Rollins versus Edge. So I just can't see McIntyre. Couldn't have seen McIntyre really getting it because I know he can't wrestle Lashley anymore for the title. But Big E deserves it. He deserves that push, and hopefully, he's able to cash in and win the title. That would be a well-deserved for him. And the main event, Universal Championship match, Edge versus Roman Reigns. I'm sorry. We saw that match at WrestleMania, even though Daniel Bryan was in that match as well. But I just don't see Edge as a legitimate threat to Roman Reigns. And then partway through the match, you had the Usos come out and interfere. You had what's the name? The Mysterios come out. I think that was the match. And then you had Seth Rollins come out and interfere. And I don't know if it's setting up Seth versus Edge because Seth was mad because Edge got the title match and Seth Rollins deserved it. I don't know if they're going to set up a Rollins versus Reigns down the road, but after the match, Edge and Rollins left, and then who comes out? Mr. Five Knuckle Shuffle, John Cena, setting up their match for SummerSlam. So John Cena versus Roman Reigns for SummerSlam, and I can't see him getting over. Cena's going to push help get Reigns over, but I just can't see Cena coming back and winning the title. And I think China got him, either that or he had too many Takis and he had a meltdown. But Cena comes out, setting up a match for them at SummerSlam. I've been talking about it all along. And then talk a little bit about Monday Night Raw. I just didn't think it was that great. But Monday Night Raw, a couple of big things. Cena started off the show, getting the crowd involved, which definitely helped get the crowd fired up. Started off good, and then later on the show, you had Lashley in the ring, and who comes out? Keith Lee. Haven't seen that man in 3 months, 4 months, something like that. Keith Lee coming out for a match versus Bobby Lashley. Keith Lee really didn't do a whole lot for me. I just think the guy is better than that, and they're not using him properly. But I don't know. This McMahon's not a big fan, and unless McMahon likes you, like Nikki, you're not going to get over too much. And then there comes the music playing. Out comes Goldberg to a big pop from the crowd, gets in the ring and goes, "I'm next," to Lashley, and MVP pulls him back and setting up their match for SummerSlam with Goldberg versus Lashley. And shaping up to be a pretty good card, but Goldberg has, I think it's 2 matches per year for this year, next year, and I think 2023, but I'm not positive on that. Somebody wants to hit me up on that and let me know if it's for 2 or 3 more years. I just can't remember. And then the Charlotte's out later on talking smack. Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville come out, tell her she's got to put her title on the line versus Rhea Ripley later on. And that's what they did for the main event. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for the title. And Rhea beats down Charlotte. And here comes almost a superhero running down to the ring. Hands in her Money in the Bank title, or Money in the Bank briefcase, gets on the corner post, waits for Charlotte, gets up, does a flying crossbody, and 1, 2, 3, and your new Raw Women's Champion, Nikki Ash. So started off pretty good with John Cena, ended, I felt pretty good with putting Nikki over and giving her the title, but not that good in the middle. Trying to remember what all the results were for that. Let's see. I have it here somewhere. Nope, I don't. Oh, never mind. Anywho, I have a couple things to show you. It's part of my recent collection. Because Bob's gone. I picked up this from a local card shop. A NWO Kevin Nash patch, authentic WWE Legends shirt card, and this Sami Zayn autographed card from 2018 Topps Undisputed. So a little personal collection for myself. Johnny Cage, I agree with you. He's next, but it's just gonna be a one match thing. Goldberg's not getting over or winning the title. He's just, we all needed someone to heckle tonight. Unfortunately, Bob just bowed out on us. Internet crashed again. Just texted me a minute ago. Bob has been having so much problems with his internet that I feel bad for the guy. He's over there streaming, and sometimes we lose him in the stream. He'll be over there streaming Dead by Daylight or some other stuff, and he's gone. But Yo Carter, good to see you again, man. Love to have you back. And go Dodgers. I have zero interest in Goldberg as well. And then who knows what they're going to do with Nikki Ash, how long they're going to keep the title on her. One more thing about Monday Night Raw, which I was not a big fan of, was Karrion Kross coming up, and he NXT champion, and he loses his first match to Jeff Hardy. That just shows you how much Vince McMahon really cares about NXT. I mean, he could care less, honestly, about what those guys do down there. I don't know why he has a problem with those guys. Triple H does a great job working with NXT and getting those guys in the matches. I mean, but bring them up and he lost, and he buries the guys. It's just you never see anybody get over that late. Yeah, that's it. Stay in NXT. I mean, Johnny Gargano, Ciampa, those guys need to stay in NXT. And I don't even know if they're going to bring up Scarlett, and they're going to keep Scarlett and Cross together, or they're going to split them up. He might be, He might be. He might be on the shit list. And what are you going to call him? You brought Tina Knox up. You just call her Knox. You brought Shotzi Blackheart up. You just call her Shotzi. They advertised Tony Storm to be here for SmackDown this Friday. It's just going to be Storm. It's just going to be Tony. Is Karrion Kross just going to be Karrion? I don't understand the need of having one name only. You called John Morrison. You have Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley. You use both names for these guys, but you can't. Yeah, it is. It is trash without Scarlett. She just helps make Karrion Kross and helps him get over more. But again, I'm not a big fan of the single names, and that's a McMahon thing as well. But Knox, Shotzi, and then Dewdrop for Piper Niven. I just don't understand it. Hopefully they don't with Karrion Kross, but yeah, it doesn't make any sense with the single name stuff. But it is what it is. But please check out Fyter Fest on Fyter Fest 2 tomorrow night. Tonight you got NXT, started about 15 minutes ago. Don't leave me. But and then I look forward to Tony Storm coming up on this Friday on SmackDown. Hopefully she gets a good pop and she wins her match. We will see. But it's been a great day. Unfortunately we lost Bob tonight. You know what? Picking on Alexis Bliss and Lily, that's what he deserves. Bob, the curse of Alexis. But it's been fun, guys. Appreciate you having everybody here. Yule, Hicks Villain, Johnny Cage, Fantasia. There she is. You haven't said anything in a while, Fantasia. Job, hopefully you're doing okay, Job, and finish off those peppercini poppers. Maybe you work your way up to jalapeno next time. But if you do, make sure you have some milk with you. Who else do we have today? Who else? Oh, yeah. I'm missing somebody. I know I am. Dabbling Dads. That's right. Dabbling Dads. Thank you all for joining us. Hey, do me a favor. Oh, and RDT Barrett. Can't forget Art. Do me a favor. Oh, eating and washing dishes. All right. What'd you have for dinner? Leave some comments on YouTube. Share us out. Follow us. We just want to make this grow. We're into episode 7. We want to keep the momentum going. Hopefully, sometime soon we can get to a pay-per-view or even a show and do some live things. I would love to have AEW back in Cleveland. That would be awesome. But we will see. And if there's anything you want us to add, say, hey, you're talking too much about this. You're not talking enough about that. I'd like to hear more about this. I'd like to hear more about that. What can we do to improve it? Because it's for you guys. We're doing this for you. So please share us out. Leave some comments. Let us know what you're excited about. If you've watched Slammiversary, if you watched Money in the Bank, put out what you think was your favorite match of the cards, or what was your least favorite, and your good, bad, and the ugly of what you thought for this week. Like I said, my good was the fans being back again. My bad was Kofi getting squashed, and my ugly was Monday Night Raw. But it's been that way for a couple months, and even with the fans back, it did not do that good. So, got the Animal Collar and Elbow brand T-shirt. Right now, we don't have anything work with Collar and Elbow brand, but go out and get some shirts and support them. And that's it, guys and gals. HW signing off. Have a great rest of your night, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday, 7 o'clock here on the TWC.